conversation with my mom, because my mom's like the nicest person in the world, but she always like wasn't stuck in family feuds, and like people would just do really mean things to her. And I was like, well, how come like, you know, how does that happen? Like, she's like, Shauna, what you need to realize is that there's going to be people in this world that don't like you. And I was like, well, why? Like, I don't understand. If I do everything really right and I'm a really good person, I was like, why would somebody not like me? And she was like, because they're just not. So you're just going to have to deal with that. And it is still like, I'll never forget that conversation, because I never really got it. But you really have to get, like, when you hear that saying, what other people think of you is none of your fucking business or whatever, but easier said than done kind of thing. So that's my story. And I'm muting again.
Oh, Michael. What's the topic again? Fuck me. You pay so much attention to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, you should be coming on. You had to come out and ask. He's like, I can't remember what you told me to talk about. Oh, husband. They always listen so well. Oh, there he is. Finally, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna switch it to speaker view. Mike, and you can, me, Ali, and Shauna are here, so if we want to touch on anything you say, we'll pipe in, but go for it.
All right. What's up, clan? How we doing?
That's my new favorite.
They're all muted, so they can't talk to you. You just have to talk like you're on a normal Zoom.
Okay, they're all muted. All right.
Yeah.
What's up? Okay. So can you mute your side, babe? So it's not, oh, she did. Okay, cool. I really like made reference with this when I read the book Settler Not Giving a Fuck, right? And the thing that people ultimately forget is their fear of becoming who they really want to be, because they're scared of, you know, people coming at them and, you know, referencing them as somebody they're not, or people coming at them and asking them, you know, what's with this new side of who you are and who you're becoming. And it goes along with the business, and it goes along with you guys growing as people as well. My favorite quote from Settler of Not Giving a Fuck is, being indifferent means being comfortable with being different. So, I mean, being different doesn't mean you have to go and act like me or Brian or, you know, Jesse Garnier, for instance, right? Like, being different means that growing into a person that you want to become, to mainly establish yourself as a business person and establish yourself becoming, you know, somebody that you want to become, right? Does that make sense? It means not being scared of, you know, throwing your face out there on a go live and talking about something you would never talk about. It means making an ad that you are scared to make because of what other people are going to think of it. It means doing a post on your personal profile that you feel that you would never do because of your fear. And fear has to do with a lot of things, and it has to do with, you know, anxiety. For one, anxiety is a huge part of something that people, you know, deal with every single day, with, you know, becoming not comfortable with who they are, right? So does that all make sense here? I'm just trying to read the stuff in here. Hi, Mike. On my best book. So good. Thank you. Yes, makes sense. Krista Smith. Be raw. Yeah. So where can I go with this? And you guys really have to realize is that putting that ad out that you're scared to put out because of what people are going to think of it is none of their business. Truthfully, it's not. It's about creating that ad for you and for your audience, right? Doing a go live means you are trying to capture people like you. You're trying to capture people that want the same things as you, but are scared to step out of their comfort zone as well. So for you, stepping out of your comfort zone and showing them that, you know, anything is possible and you can do anything if you just step up and do it. And you guys have already done it, right? I don't know how many people are brand new to this system in here, or that, you know, have bought products, you know, and everything like that. You guys have already stepped up. You guys have already stepped out of your comfort zone. You've already made the choice to become somebody different, become somebody that's literally hiding, you know, deep down in here, but you need to bring it out in here. Does that make sense? Your mind's going to play tricks on you all the time, right? But how you create and how you observe what's going on in here, and instead of what's going on in your stomach, and bringing that out, you know, and speaking to, you know, your audience and really gaining that trust within them is huge for your business. I didn't really understand this when I came in because, you know, I come from a small town full of oil field guys, full of friends that, you know, only believe in one thing and one thing only, right? That's to go to school, get out of school, go to the oil patch, play hockey, play beer league, mess around in the dressing room, drinking beer after the game, and being, you know, and literally drinking and, you know, doing drugs to get away from the hard life they have to live, and not actually facing that hard life. So they just melt it down with drinking and doing drugs. So I had a hard time when I came in this business because my mind was programmed to not feel comfortable with who I wanted to become, right? But as when I moved to Kelowna and I jumped on a big, huge car lot full of sales, you know, 15 other salespeople, I really had to establish that because I had to become somebody else, right? I had to be comfortable with, you know, confronting people, talking to people again. And I jumped out of the oil patch to go back into the car business, right? So, you know, I had to feel comfortable with talking to people, being recognized as somebody who, you know, can help them, and being recognized with somebody that, you know, I once was, but forgot who I was, right? So, you know, growing and learning and being able to not give a fuck about what people think is probably the hardest thing that you guys are going to struggle with. And it's true, because it just becomes that anxiety will kick in, right? If I post this, what is my best friend going to think? If I post this, what is my mom going to think? If I post this, what are my friends that I went to high school with going to think? Oh, this is just another MLM marketing joke that she got mixed up in. You know, you've probably already seen a lot of that stuff come about. You are your own worst critic. I know. So fucking true. Definitely sad. Yep. Being driven. I still struggle with this every day, but I try to use my fear as drive. So true. What are you getting at? Oil field lifestyle is only measuring your quality of life on how many choices. Exactly, Melanie. It really is none of their business what they think, really and truthfully. And Todd Campbell really, really taught this to us in Awaken. Is it's none of people's business what they think of you. It's your business of what you think of yourself. And when you truly understand that, you're going to grow as a person and your business is going to explode. When you're not scared to post, when you're not scared to confront people about what you're doing and truthfully be passionate about what you're doing, because your leads are going to see it. People can read people. Doesn't matter if it's through Messenger. Doesn't matter if it's through a post. It doesn't matter if it's through an ad. People read people. That's what we do as human beings, right? And until you're fully comfortable with who you are and what you're doing, then your business will explode.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
So like I made a post last night when I decided we wanted to bring this topic up today, because I think it's a huge thing that really sets us back in our business for a very long time. Like it's still setting me back to this day. Like I still have fear to push that go live button. I still have fear to do these things, but I try, and instead of go lives, I try and put my emotions in raw in writing. And I wrote this thing last night: when you stop giving a damn about what other people think, your self-confidence will definitely shoot through the roof, right? You're faster than any of us can imagine. So when you start to believe in yourself and what you can offer the world, you will stop letting outside influence stop your success or sway your decisions or affect how you want to live in that moment. It'll stop happening because you're not caring. You're not putting your fucks in a bucket that don't matter. Throw that fuck it bucket out the window. Who cares? Because honestly, the only person that matters, their opinion, like Michael said, is your opinion of yourself. If you are truly confident in what you are doing and that you know it's for a better cause and that you're going to make a difference on this world, just like he said, your leads are going to see it and your community and your family is going to see it. When we first got into this, Mike can attest to this, but our family all thought we were crazy. And when Michael quit his job, my mom called me freaking. What the hell is he doing? Because he is putting my family at risk, is so what she thought, right? But I knew it was the right decision, and he knew it was the right decision for our family because we could put all of our time and effort into what we were doing. So, I just want to touch on that. You don't always have to, like for me, if you're having a really big block when it comes to go lives or something, what else do you excel at that you can really be raw at and not have that fear, and always just try to push through the fear of the go lives and all that stuff? Like I still do them every once in a while. It's just not as consistent as I'd like, but I'm really trying to be raw in my writing because I know I'm good at that, and I know when I can express my feelings better in my writing than I can through my voice. So for me, that's how I push it. Love it on the fuck it buckets. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, love it. Love it, babe. Keep going.
Now I just lost my train of thought. See, you can't take me out of my zone. You took me out of my flow zone. Just kidding. Yeah, Melanie, I totally agree. When you come from a small town in an oil patch, an oil patch town, it's about people always think about. It's about what you have, how big your truck is, how many quads you have, how many snowmobiles you have, how many dirt bikes you have, right? And people don't understand that, you can better your life a different way, and just hiding those things, and being responsible for your life can ultimately generate you income, and it can ultimately generate you what you want to do in your life, right? You guys all have an opportunity here to make millions of dollars, make infinity money. Infinity. It means it doesn't ever disappear. Your kids will never ever. Your kids will never see the effects that we did if we change what we're doing, right? Your kids can, grow to be who they ultimately are, and they're going to see who you are. So they're going to become, that's going to rub off on them ultimately as well. Right? It is from like what I learned in Awaken, from 0 to 5 years old, 80% of our programming is already in place. 80%. Right? So we have to watch and teach the generation that's coming behind us, you guys, is entrepreneurial. They'll never see a 9 to 5 unless they become doctors, dentists, nurses, stuff like that. Right. And, the thing of it is that, what we're doing here is we're changing. We're changing the way the world turns. We're changing the way people think, and we're changing the way, life can be designed. You ultimately have the opportunity to do anything you want. So many people think I'm crazy, but those same people are watching to see if I'm successful because they're curious at the same time. Exactly, Heidi. 100%. Krista Smith. Exactly. Haters hate till they ask if you're hiring. Exactly. No wonder I don't know what I want.
Caitlin just said the most amazing thing. She said, what'd you say? Come over here.
Oh, I can't.
Just say it.
Oh,
you got to get closer.
No, just
Okay.
that you don't give people opportunities to do their
Oh,
true
yeah.
leadership.
You will not be able to give other people their true ability.
Permission.
What?
Permission
to step into their true ability to be leaders if you don't. You won't be able to create leads that want to be leaders and want to succeed if you're not willing to do what it takes to succeed either. If you are not willing to step out of your comfort zones, either will the people you bring in. I think that's all.
100%, because if you're not willing to lead your life the way you want it led, you're ultimately setting the pace of what your leads are going to be coming in here doing. They're going to model what you're doing, right? You're their mentor. You're the person they look up to. So they're going to model what you do, right? That's what people are trained to do. They model who they look up to. So think about that for a second. Let that sink in. We have lived a life of oil rich and used to our bank accounts to buy happiness. It's a replacement for being with each other after losing it all. We are now more happy and so grateful for what we have now. This opportunity will allow us to succeed as a family and the experience. What, my sign behind me? It says, don't gain the world and lose your soul. Wisdom is better than silver and gold. It's from Bob Marley. I've had that picture for 5 years now, babe? Probably since we bought our house after we moved out of our modular. My best friend's mom bought that for us for a housewarming gift. And it's so true, right? Wisdom speaks over everything. I don't know what else to touch on, really. Like, I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to communicate with where you're at in your business. I know a lot of you people are new in here, right? So where...
Sorry, Kate just said something. Feel free to unmute yourself and respond to Mike, please, because he's asking you to. So if you have things you want to say, touch on, please go and step out of that comfort zone and open up. Like, that's what it's about.
Consistency is hard. Consistency is super hard. Consistency is training your brain to do the exact same thing every day. It's hard. Trust me, I battle with it every single day. Consistency is what is literally going to make you succeed in this business, because if you stay consistent, those people that are following you and that are scared to step up to the plate and ask you what's really going on, they're really watching you. So if you're staying consistent in your business and showing them that you're here to stay and this business is here to stay, they're going to want to join. They're going to want to join because you are staying consistent and you are following the path that you want to be, the path that you want to go to. And it's hard to stay consistent. Believe me, life happens. right? There's so much shit in our day that we have to do other than our business. We all have families, we all have children, we all have, maybe some people are still working full time. That gets in the way. That gets in the way of a lot of things. Your daily life gets in the way of a lot of things. But if you literally make yourself a schedule each day and follow that schedule, you'll stay consistent. It's like programming your brain as a professional athlete, right? Because those professional athletes also have lives, but they have to do the things for the sport that they're making money off every single day. They have to practice. And when you're staying consistent and you're showing up to these Zooms, you're showing up to Tech Tuesday, you're showing up to Wednesday Hangout, and you're showing up to your regular team Zooms, and you're showing up to your masterminds, right? That's practice. That's practice. That's making you a better affiliate. It's making you a better marketer. Doing those things is super important. I would not be here today if I didn't do those things. I still show up every Tuesday and Wednesday. Either if I'm running them or if I'm on them or if I'm still listening, right? I'm still showing up and I'm still writing notes, because you never stop learning in this business. You will never stop learning. Having certainty in your success for the future will battle the opinion of others.
I have just something light to share. Sorry, my baby's just in the background, so that's any background noise. But a few years ago, I was in a very unhappy place, and I was looking for something that was going to change my life. I was going through a lot of depression, and I was like trying to work really hard to try and find somewhere where I was comfortable. And I ended up moving from my hometown, which I'd never done before. And I moved to Tofino. I don't know if any of you have been there. It's a beautiful place. And I started as a kayaking guide, and that was a new profession for me, a new place for me, totally out of my comfort zone. And, as a kayaking guide, you're responsible for a lot of people's safety, and you're also needing to be entertaining. And so that was like the thing I was scared of the most. And anyways, just, not caring about what people thought. I went there with like very little knowledge of the area, but I read books and I learned as much as I could to learn as fast as I could. And I just found like I got a lot more positive response than I anticipated. And slowly, I tripped my words. I had a really hard time for the first month, but the more I was out there and like getting the responses that I was gaining confidence. And there was one trip where I was actually taking a group of, I think there was 12 people, and they were all buddies and all their kids. And I was taking them for a whole day trip, and the trip went horrible. And a couple of the kids actually ended up in the water and in the ocean. Like, that's a very scary thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really bad. The night looked horrible. And, I just thought like, oh, they're going to go on TripAdvisor. They're going to give me these horrible things. But once we were back on land, got the kids dry, blah, blah, blah. They ended up asking me out for dinner afterwards. So, it just shows you like, even sometimes when you don't think things are going as well as they are, sometimes, people respond differently. So, so that's just, I guess, kind of not giving a fuck, because you just never know what other people's opinions are of you. And sometimes it's completely opposite of what you expected. So, yeah. And yeah, like I thought, they would never want to come back to my company, give me horrible review, and they didn't. It was completely opposite. So Yeah, so I mean, I guess just keep your heads up, and those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. So if people truly love you or care, like have something in common with you, that will surpass any negative thoughts. So
100%. And you growing as a person within that has helped you, come into this business with confidence as well, right? I mean, the one thing, you can never get away from depression, right? And you can never get away from anxiety. It doesn't matter where you go or who you're with, that is always going to be with you. But how you deal with it ultimately inside your mind is what really matters, right? If you're teaching your mind to think differently, to act differently, to really come out and out of that black hole, right, that you're in, and you're teaching your mind and physically making yourself think that other things. You guys, I used to, like, when I started this business, I used to look in the mirror every single morning, right? And until I could not cry in front of that mirror, that's when I knew I had it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you become comfortable who you are. You become comfortable with what you're doing. You become comfortable with accepting that this business ultimately can take you places that you will never, ever imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just reading some of other people's stories. I can't remember who it was the other day. I think it might have been Kate, saying like just how this community has like turned her into like a confident woman already. And I think, I'm not sure how long she's been in, but I think she's pretty new. So that was like sort of inspiring for me to see that, the community is already affecting people in just a few months, when that's probably the hardest for the self-development and confidence. So.
And people, like, I've had people drop off in this business, but they've always come back to me and said, you know what, this community has changed me. The self-minded people and the things that I learned from the books that you told me to read, and the podcasts that you told me to listen to, and the meditation that you told me to do has changed me as a person. Right? So, I mean, it's going to change you in a matter of what you do with what you wanting to do with your business. Where do you guys want to go? Who do you want to become? What income, how many people do you want to help? Fuck the money, because the money is going to follow you. Trust me. When I came into this business, I was all about the money and how to make it, and how to make it as fast as possible. I did that. But then it caught up to me, and I was just like, now what do I do with all these people underneath me that are looking up to me, that are, wanting to grow as people as well? I had to really dig deep into the self-development, like, now. Right? I had to dig in and stop, the whole train of thought of only hustling and only being, on the hustle train. I had to get out of that salesman mentality and, learn how to manage and grow who was underneath me. Right? So if you do it from the start, do you mind muting yourself again, Alicia?
Yep, no problem.
Awesome. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
sharing. It's super awesome to hear your story. But if you do it from day one, you're not going to run into that rut. Right? And if you're staying consistent and you're not overwhelming your guys' self every single day, you're going to want to pick up where you left off. Right? And I don't know if you guys heard, Jang talk about this, or Jesse talk about it, or even Garrett Francis talk about it. Alicia's gone now. She had to go to, but Garrett was on our Zoom on Sunday night, and he was admitting to us that, about 3 weeks ago, he went through, or 2 weeks ago, he went through his lull of tiredness, of literally hitting a wall, of being, so like burnt out that he didn't even want to turn his phone or computer on. because we've hustled so hard and worked so many hours into what we're doing for everyone else, that you become, you become that one person, and again you're running the hamster wheel again, right? So my suggestion to you guys is take those Sundays, really make them fun. Sunday fun day, right? Work 2 hours, take a half an hour break, right? Leave your phone, leave your computer, go do something with your kids. If you have kids, go do something for yourself. And then when you come back to your work, your mind's going to be fresh, and you're going to be able to pick up where you left off in a mindset that you want to be there. Because if you're talking to a lead and you're tired and you just talk to like 10 leads that day, and it's the same occurring freaking questions, and you're giving the exact same answers, and you're just lately want to beat your head against the wall and get this through to these people, that means you need to step back. If you're talking to somebody in a negative mindset, that negative mindset is going to rub off on them, and they're going to see it through your messages, and you're going to lose that lead. It's happened to me a lot, right? Because I would sit there all friggin' day in my office and hammer people all day long. I would go through my leads list of 300 people, and I would smash every single one of them. And I would do it the next day, and then I'd do it the next day. I got people, believe me, but the outcome of it wasn't very good, because I was burnt out, right? So can't stop, won't stop. I'll surpass that in my team and doing the same consistency steps day and day. It doesn't matter how long it takes, because I know it's all part of my path. Exactly, Krista. Right. But, going back to not giving a shit about what people think and how it's ultimately going to affect your guys' business, really work on that. Right. Because like I said, you guys have an opportunity here to make infinity money. You have an opportunity to physically make millions of dollars. And of course the money doesn't matter, right? But the thing of it is that that's going to make you and your family and everyone else super comfortable in their life. And imagine yourselves every single morning already doing that. If that's your ultimate goal, be that person, right? If you want to make millions of dollars, be the $1 million person every single day. Act, feel, realistically, know it, right? Goals are set for a reason, but how we ultimately live and dream those goals in the reality of your mindset right now is physically ultimately acting the way a $1 million business is run. And those words come from, Cameron George said that to all of us on, one of our Zooms the other day. He's like, if you guys really want to grow as true leaders, and if you guys really want to set your life free, start acting like it now. Start running your business as you are a $1 million business. Start acting like that. What do those people do every single day? They self-development, gym, yoga, they're not scared to be who they are. They're not in fear of themselves. They've overcome that anxiety. They've overcome what people have thought about them. Because ultimately, you don't need those people who care about what you're doing. You don't need them in your lives. The only people you need in your life is you and the people that want to grow with you. And if you're building a team that wants to grow with you, you have to start acting like that leader and stop giving a shit and really truly dig into what you want. Shauna Clark told me I was being personable, and I could tell she didn't respond because exactly, Shauna. It happens all the time, right? Where our day gets ahead of us. You're working on an ad, you're trying to figure out, what I'm going to do, what's my next step, what should I be doing for my team, how can I grow as a person more so I can literally be chill with who I am. So how do you ultimately find the energy and the time for those leads at the end of the day at 10 p.m. when those people are off work, when they're, they finish supper, their kids are in bed, they're surfing Facebook, they hit you more info, right? If you're taking those 20-minute, half an hour breaks within your day for yourself, you're going to have the energy to ultimately smash that person at the end of the day and go into your leads and go into those people that you're talking about with that progression of this person is coming in no matter what. No matter if they come in now or a week or 2 weeks from now, they're coming in.
So Mike, can I just ask you a question on that? Because it was bizarre that you said the things you did, because literally I was just fighting with a lead about what exactly you were talking about. It's the first time it's ever happened to me. What I realize is when I have been, so I spend a lot of time, I actually get compliments all the time on how personable I am. And they're like, I've commented on a lot of ads, but no one has been as personable as you. Thank you for that. So then this one out of like the 50 that have commented, I get this one that's like, you're responding with a bot. I don't trust you. You break trust in people. You get nowhere in life, whatever. It was just like, and she's like, so in that case, I want nothing to do with you. And it triggered something in me because I know I am personable. So when someone hits you somewhere that is, I went back and I read, and it wasn't totally unpersonal, but I could tell I was probably at the end of responding to like 50 people by the time I had gotten to her. So it was kind of shorter. But I basically, when you do something, and this goes in any area of your business, when your intention, when you focus really hard on being a certain way, and then someone tells you you're being opposite. So basically you're coming off completely wrong. How do you not let those things trigger you when it's something that you find a lot of value in?
Because you have to understand it's their fear that's holding them back. They're not blaming you for having ManyChat because your life is busy. They're not blaming you for, not taking the time for them. They're ultimately what's going on in their situation at that time. They're trying to throw it at you. And that's what being personal with people and really reading people, right? Somebody comes in at that time and they're like, you're a fucking scam and you should be thrown off Facebook. You know what I mean? And you're just like, well, what am I doing wrong? No, that person is having a bad day and he's pissed off that you are living a free life, that you are doing something for your life that ultimately he can never think of or she can never think of doing at that time.
So how do you respond? Do you just disengage? Like, I know you're a coach, right? So would you would turn that around, like, so that you would still go after that person, or just be like, lost cause, whatever? What would you do?
I would throw gratitude at him. Thank you for coming commenting on my ad. I appreciate your feelings towards what I'm doing, right? But I really want you to understand that I'm here for you, and this is an opportunity that you can take as well, right? Understand that, I'm getting 100 of these comment I'm ins a day off my ad, and I can't keep up. So I'm sorry that this doesn't feel personable, but what I can do is let's hook up a one-on-one call. I started putting that into my bot, Shauna, at the end when on different stages,
But I'm not using a bot. That's what pisses me off. That's what pisses me off, is I'm like, I'm not using a bot. The only thing I used was like, so I have a copy and paste message, and
Okay.
I always ask their permission. I say, is it okay if I send you an info message? It's kind of copy and paste. Are you okay with that? And she said, yes. And then she was like, you're a fucking bot. So I was like, well, no, I'm not a bot. So that's why it triggered me. If I was using a bot, then I think I could approach it like that.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate what you're saying, because I still think I could have taken that angle instead of being like, well, clearly this isn't for you. But I think I could definitely have still used what you just said to be able to say, you know what, I was probably really tired. I'm not using a bot, but I can understand how you could think that, right? Yeah. I get a lot of messages a day. It was probably late at night. Actually, I can see what time it was. I messaged you. Yes, it was late. I was tired. I wanted to get you the info as soon as I could. I definitely could have approached it different.
But the thing of it is, Shauna, is like that person's going to be that, you know, they're still interested in what you have to say. So even if you would have hit them that morning, would have been totally fine.
Yeah.
Right. Because we don't understand that, you know, people that we're sending information to and stuff, they're not on Facebook like us. Mm-hmm. Right. They're not there all day long. They're not on their messenger. They're not, tuning their, they're just not on Facebook as much as we are. Right. So hooking that person up that morning would have been totally fine with them. Right. When you're tired and you're not in the zone, don't even try, because it's literally just going to chase that person away. And they could have been, you never know. They could have been your 6A. You just never know. Right. So, they're not going to go and run off to somebody else. And if they find another ad, so be it. Right. You have to entrust in yourself and what you're doing and take that time for yourself, because, it at the end of the day, you don't want to be hitting a wall where you don't even want to turn your phone on. You don't. Like, it's horrible.
No, I'm there. I actually dread dealing with comments right now. So I don't want to turn off my ads because they're running, but I'm like, am I really doing anybody any favors right now?
Mm-hmm. Work 2 hours, take a half an hour, work 2 hours, take half an hour. Or, set a time. Like, me and Kat started, like, it's hard for us, but like at 3:00, I want our business done and shut down. Right. It's, attending to those leads here and there, fine. But like, ultimately, like, our night Zooms and stuff is different, but you have to have that, time away from it. You're just going to, it's like anything, you guys, you're going to go nuts. You will. I mean, it happens, right? So, taking those Sundays off and literally like turning your messages off or whatever you have to do, leave your phone at home or whatever, just ignore it, put it on silent, have that day with your family, have that day to literally regroup. It's going to make you a better person, and it's going to make your business better. When I first started, I wanted to make all these big changes, and then I got so overwhelmed and would go back to square one. Now I'm just implementing small things and be easy on myself. Now two of my leads are very similar to me and just want to help them to change their lives and the lives of their families. I'm so much relaxed, and it makes everyone so much easier. Yeah, and the thing of it is, Kate, is like if you're talking to them in a chill manner and you're not excited and you're just like, I don't know what to say. Those people are going to read that through your messenger, right? Those people, like I said, you guys, people read people very well, right? And the only way people buy is if they trust that person. So you have to build that trust with them. They're not going to buy off you if they don't trust you. That's why sometimes it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month and a half for that $99 buyer to come in here and buy. They don't care about the 14-day money back because they want to change their life. And that's what I've really recognized, right? They want to come in here and actually do it, just like you're doing it. So for them to be convinced and comfortable, they have to have trust in you. And how you build trust with people is going on their level, being able to recognize their feelings and where they're coming from. It's the greatest thing I learned in sales is reading people, right? It's a lot different through Messenger and on the phone than being in person with somebody. But if you can actually, start really relaxing and reading what that person is really trying to tell you, because they're trying to tell you something for you to help them. All sales are exactly the same. That person is looking for you to find that one thing that they don't really want to say, but they're kind of saying it in their message, right? People like people that know how to guide them, right? And know how to talk to them, and they'll follow you and they'll basically do what you say. It's like a puppet on a string, right? You remember those puppets on the strings? You can literally make somebody feel comfortable. They're going to be your puppet on your string. Not being like rude as an entity of like, you're going to smash them and stuff like that. Not coming from that frame of mindset, but coming from a mindset that if they're comfortable with you, they're going to buy from you ultimately. Right. And I have leads, like people like you guys new in here and understanding that it takes time to build your business. And when we say if it takes 2-3 months to get that $199 buyer, it's because you're building that progress of people. But once you hit 3 or 4 months in this business, those people that you talked to earlier in your business have watched you and seen you grow, and now they want to become a part of you. They want to be becoming a part of your team. So staying consistent and not giving a shit about what your family or friends think, or what, the anxiety of all that kind of stuff is, you need to let that go, because it's hurting your business. It's hurting your income. It's hard to let it go. It really is. It's probably the hardest thing, to let go with this business, of really being able to speak what's really in here, right? What's really going on in your heart. Really being able to speak what you're feeling is hard, because the anxiety kicks in. Everything kicks in. Your programming, your mind, right? What it's just like when you were a kid in school and you knew the answer, but you were scared to raise your hand because you weren't sure if it was the correct answer, right? You're in elementary school, you're in your class, and you're just like, I know the answer. Oh, but I'm not going to put my hand up. Maybe it's not the right answer. Right? Or if you were you remember back in the day when your teacher used to make you read in class, and you were scared to do that because you were scared to screw up because your friends might laugh at you in your class. That's programming. Right? Everything has to do with what is right here, you guys, is the most powerful thing you have. And when you actually listen to what Kiala says sometimes, and you listen, Todd Campbell sometimes comes out and he talks on, to Wednesday night hangouts and stuff like that, programming this to be run as you have confidence no matter where you are, it's going to help your business. People, you don't think that people in your hometown are watching you as well. So how you're walking out of your house, where you are getting your groceries, when you're in the shopping mall, they're watching. We are faces on the internet. People watch us. So how we're acting in our real life is ultimately going to pursue in your business as well. And if you're not giving a shit out there of what people think, you're not going to give a shit in here of what people think. Does that make sense? Smile everywhere you go. be that person that you're talking about. When you're dropping your kids off at school, those other moms are watching you. Your face on Facebook. You are running ads, smiling, being happy. You're throwing a life out of you are living free. You are throwing a life of a lifestyle, right? You want them to become a lifestyle. But if you're showing up in the schoolyard and you're grumpy, right? And you're not looking people in the eye and you're not smiling and saying, hi, showing the world is ultimately the exact same as showing the world on your ad, right? If you're doing an ad, right, and you have anxiety, right, about that ad, those people are going to see that, right? And they're going to not believe what you are saying, right? So programming your brain to have confidence, no matter where you are, is the ultimate thing to your business. You watch any sports player, anyone that is very successful with what they do, they walk around like they're the shit. You guys ever watched how Brian Hodgson walks around? What he does, how he is in real life, is ultimately how he is on his ads. That guy walks around like he's fucking T-Pain or Biggie Smalls, or it literally is. He doesn't give a shit what people think of him. He doesn't care. He walks around in life with confidence. So does Matt Jang. Matt Jang is the exact same person you see on the ad as you see in real life. He walks around with confidence and gratitude. And so does Brian. Brian has a lot of gratitude, but Brian still has that edge of that hardcoreness into him. And that's what makes Brian who he is, right? You watch how the successful people, what they're doing in their lives is ultimately going to reflect on their business. And if you guys are showing up to the shopping mall and everything else, the people aren't going to believe you, right? And the people aren't going to believe you on your ads if you don't have the confidence, right? I could spit an ad out at any time at any part of the day. My ads are running fine right now, so I really don't need to. But having that, that reoccurrence of it, a new ad is good too. Like if you guys see what Travis Matheson does, he puts an ad out a new ad every week. He doesn't let and that's fine. Like do what you want to do within your business, right? But you guys got to stop giving a shit, right? If you need to make a fuck it bucket in your house, do it and write what you need to write that day and throw it in there and then burn it at the end of the week.
I love that idea. Just like you have like Shauna with somebody that was kind of an asshole to you in Messenger, write it on a piece of paper, throw it in a fuck it bucket and leave it there. Don't carry it on to your next messaging. Don't carry it on because that is what's important. Everybody's going to get disheartened at some points. No one can ever have craft make a fuck it bucket. I love it. But nobody's ever going to feel in my brain 100% not giving a fuck. We all have those moments, but it's what we do with that moment going forward. It's how we react after. We all care, but if we can take those moments of, oh, I did a really shitty job with that person, or that person says that I'm not doing the right thing. We all have those feelings, and it's good to have feelings, but recognize the feeling and use a fuck it bucket. Why not? Until you understand the concept of leaving it there, leaving it in the bucket and burning it so that you don't have to carry that forward to your next day. I love it. We should have a fuck it bucket. Can we have a fuck it bucket?
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, what I'm saying is don't try to be somebody who you're not, but be comfortable with who you are. Right? Because you're not going to go walk around like Brian. You know what I mean? It doesn't suit the person you are. I can't even model him, right? I wouldn't want to, because that's him. That's what he does, right? I'm who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am and what I do as a person. And when I'm out of my house, I'm the exact same person as who I am, right? You're going to find the people that want to be a part of your business with you that are, really believe and trust in you. Until you stop giving a shit about what other people are going to think, you're really not going to get that message out, and you're not going to grow. Trust me. Because when you're successful and you're living the life that you want to live, are you going to care about what those people thought? Not a chance. You're not going to care if they, your friend messaged you and been like, what are you doing? You're being a retard. Right? But when you have millions of dollars in the bank accounts and your freaking life is set free and your kid's life is ultimately is free as well, you're not going to care about that message. Right? And if you've got them messages, delete them and block those people, because you don't need them. They are not going to be a part of your success. They're trying to ruin it because they're scared to step out of their comfort zone as well. And ultimately, they're scared of success themselves.
Hey, babe.
Why we teach mindset in this business, you guys, is because when you get to that place, and we know everyone is, we know it. As leaders in this business, we know that people are going to make some serious money. And we are only making it easier and easier coming and building more things for you guys. But the reason why we work on mindset so hard and being humble is because then you don't become that person that is greedy, right? That blows that money out the door, and you're Theon Fleury. Have you guys ever heard of Theon Fleury? Unreal hockey player. Blew $50 million. $50 million he made in his career. By the time he retired, he had nothing. And he was bankrupt. We don't want that happening inside this community. We want people to be humble, and we want to literally, you guys, be able to manage what is going to happen, right? Believe me, you guys, like, if you become comfortable with the person you are, and you're not scared to be who you want to be, you can do anything with this business. And the things that are coming in this business is going to blow your mind. So you need to decide now, right? And you need to decide that, like, feel like it ultimately comes down to who you want to be and who you want as a team, right? We all want success, but we're all really kind of scared of it. I still am, right? But if we stay within who we are and we're not scared to be something, or not scared to feel comfortable inside our own skin, and nothing's going to be able to ruin that. No person's going to be able to come and walk up to you and be like, you're a piece of shit and you're a scam artist. You're going to be able to walk away with them and laugh, instead of feeling this big, right? Done.
Awesome. I just wanted to say who got value today, who liked our special speaker. Because I like him a lot, but I'm biased, so. It was great. Thanks so much. Tons of value.
Thanks so much, Mike. That was amazing.
Nice hair. I love it. I love your buns.
True, you guys, like really do this from day one right now and become the person that you want to become and be comfortable with that person and stop giving a shit about what those negative people say because they're not going to fucking be your success.
Oh, sorry. Shauna just said I love your buns too. And I don't typically have a hair bun, so I don't know which one she's talking about. But so we do have, me and Mike have to cut it off because we have to go get our kids, but we love you guys. I'm going to reach out to some other leaders and get some more special speakers for us this month. I know I am anyway. I'm sure the other
magic meditation, the magic meditation, the magic meditation.
And if you know someone that did not watch this Zoom, please, please, please tag them in the replay. As soon as I get home from getting the kids, I will post it. I think this Zoom is super important. All of us need to, even us as leaders, still need to work on this. There's another meditation. I know Michael posted one last night. It's called the Success Manifestation, but there's another one. It's called that I like even a little bit better, and I don't know if I've posted it in this group yet, but it's called Wealth by Manifestation. And I really love that one because it's wealth in all aspects of your life, not just in money. And it really walks you through a visualization of what exactly you're wanting in that specific moment in that night. Because I know when I go to sleep, I have all these things running around my head, especially right now, we have a lot going on in our personal life. And I just literally last night when we did it, I just visualized exactly how I wanted the outcome to look. And every night that I do it, I wake up and have a fabulous day the next day. If I've missed a night, I notice it right away the next day. So I'll post like both of them in here. I know Mike posted a meditation in our group last night, but I'll forward them on to you guys. They're really, really good. But like Mike says, just, do what you need to do in a day to keep yourself confident, to keep yourself knowing that you are fucking awesome. Every single person in here is valuable.
Can't be scared for that person that is there.
No, because because even if you had 5 haters, but you could help one person change their life, would it still not be worth it? I think 100%. That's my opinion. I don't care if I have 100 haters. If I can help one person change their life, that's good in my books. So I just walk away from the people that are negative in my life. But we love you guys. I'm going to stop recording and we got to run. So glad you guys got all the value. We'll do it again. And tag the people that missed it, because I know we all know people. There will always be someone that can relate. Exactly. Love you guys. Peace out. Go get your fuck it buckets. I love it. Okay, bye.